Hello everyone and welcome back to Everyman Hybrid Explained by Nightmind. Full credit to Nightmind for the explanation and everything. This is parts 4 and 5, the re-upload special. So you're missing the 1 minute and 43 seconds of Nightmind explaining why this is a re-upload, which basically is because of copyright in the original 4 and 5 of the Frank Sinatra songs, which I ran into issues with too, except that he got his videos partially blocked. I did not, but with my videos I removed some of the sounds, like with my Everyman Hybrid videos. I removed the music to get rid of copyright. I didn't get copyright striked or anything, but I got claims. And again, my channel is not monetized or anything, so it's not like it really affects me, but it would affect me in the future if I ever became monetized. So I just removed it so I wouldn't have to worry about it in the future. But anyways, for the record, that's what you missed. That's all you missed, was him explaining as to why this is a re-upload. Anyways, I don't know if we're going to watch the full 3 hours or not, because I don't know if my ADHD can sit here for 3 hours watching this, to be completely honest. I might be able to, but more than likely I'm not going to be able to. So we might just watch an hour of it and then come back to it, to be completely honest. Just saying. So I think I said to be honest quite a few times, and why is my voice cracking like that? Jesus, I really must be hitting puberty. Jeez. Everyman Hybrid Explained parts 4 and 5 re-upload special.
Welcome back to Nightmind, friends. It's time to check in on the Everyman Hybrid boys once again and see how they're holding up in spite of recent events. When we last visited the EMH crew, they delivered a video summarizing the first half of their summer, in which Habit sent a personal video to the guys showing the feral white monster that's hunting Alex, taking a body away. In addition to this, a photo of Evan and Dr. James Corenthal was discovered, which Evan can't remember taking. And finally, the 4th of July saw a major lack of proper fireworks that was made up for in blood, as Evan apparently slaughtered a deer in the woods. It's not entirely clear what happened. Both Vinny and Jeff were present, but they can't quite remember what transpired. On the same day the recap was uploaded, Habit delivered his final Morse code video, finishing the coded message. In this video, the biggest bomb yet was dropped in the reveal that Evan, Jeff, Vinny, and Stephanie are all trapped in a vicious cycle of reincarnation overseen by Slenderman. These are not the standard reincarnations as the term is commonly understood. Instead of assuming new identities, lives, and homes, all 4 members of the group return as themselves with very little changes, and it seems as if they're reiterating in the same time period too. The best metaphor would be something taken from one of the gang's favorite activities, video games. Whenever our characters on screen fail their own mission or die in the act of carrying out a level, they respawn at the start point, forced to repeat their actions until the quest is complete. The full nature of the reiteration cycle is unknown. It's not clear how long this has been happening, if there have been any moments of true success, and if they're truly stuck in a single point in time for their reincarnations. After all, the group existed as themselves in the 1970s as the adopted children of Dr. James Corenthal, and from that point, we don't know what happened to bring us to the present day. On top of that, Corenthal seems to have been up to a lot of shocking activity since the death of his children, and the erratic behavior has yet to be explained. The greatest mystery, however, is what Habit has to do with all of this. Why is he helping us understand what's happening? Why is he playing with the EMH crew? Who or what is he, and what does he want? Perhaps the answers to the Habit questions can be found in the packages he's been sending. It would certainly help to find the rest of his 7 boxes. Lucky for us, a very special bonus package arrives shortly after the final Morse code video, with the promise of even more to arrive just before it.
Surprise, bitches! Say we're to have 2 electronic files in my possession.
Oh No, we
two
don't.
files you'd be interested in.
In the Tribe 12 video, it said that it showed the timestamp of the of Tribe 12 doing something like this where they did a riddle, and I wanted to see if it was at the same time that Everyman Hybrid was doing the 7 Trials of Habit. And it doesn't have the timestamps.
What would you do to help the EMH fools out?
Responses began to come in from Habit's followers attempting to win the special files. Meanwhile, Rabbit number 108 uploads a video showing she'd already won something. Habit had sent the Jester's prize to her, and this one was the real deal. Habit even made it personal by marking the box to let her know it was a birthday gift. Inside, she received Evan's Bioshock 2 t-shirt seen during what may have been the first iteration glitch. There was also a silver rabbit necklace, another piece of the mystery message the guys had been clued into, and a Corinthal letter. The mystery message piece held an extra addition at the bottom, plus 133. At last, we have all 4 pieces of the note and can decipher what it's meant to say. The first piece came from Alex's room during the video last week / taking it back, picked up by Jeff from the floor. The next was found in Habit's package to Rabbit number 98 for his victory in round 1 of the 7 trials. The third was sent to Noah Maxwell of Tribe 12 in Florida. And
We just got to that point in Tribe 12.
now the fourth in the real version of the Jester.
I was right. It is unreliable narrator. You know, it was probably said when it probably came together in Everyman Hybrid, and I just don't remember. Oh wait, no, I don't think it did because she has it.
Prize. Together, they read Shade's password to the unreliable narrator, plus 133. The phrase is a reference to the novel Pale Fire, which served as inspiration for House of Leaves. Again, that novel makes its appearance in Everyman Hybrid, showing its influence in whatever's going on here. The character of Shade in the novel speaks to the character of Kinboat and offers him a single phrase as a password: pity. What's interesting about this selection is the context in which the password appears. Shade and Kinboat are speaking about the sins of man. They start with the 7 deadly sins, and Shade says, without 3 of them, pride, lust, and sloth, poetry might never have been born. They then go on to discuss original sin and the incident of Cain killing his brother Abel. After delivery of the password, pity, Kinboat asks of Shade, but who instilled it in us, John? Who is the judge of life and the designer of death? Shade replies, life is a great surprise. I do not see why death should not be an even greater one. What's remarkable about this selection becomes clear when you remember that Habit chose it. The only other piece of literature he's presented, The Summoning of Everyman, deals with precisely the same subjects as discussed between Shade and Kinboat: the sins of man, the judgment of God, and the inevitability of death. We have not 1 but 2 pieces of literature now attributed to our Everyman crew by Habit to further our understanding. When you take into account the other bits of written material, the Corinthal letters, we can trace the religious material back to the Fairmount Children's Home version of Vinny, who was allegedly molested by a priest and later suffered fits of blurting out biblical verses, according to Dr.
Are we
Corinthal.
allowed to say that on YouTube?
If we rewind all the way back to the very first video on the channel, another connection can be made.
What's going on, Internet? I am Vinny Everyman, and this is Everyman Hybrid.
Out of all 3 of our original crew members, only Vinny is referred to as the Everyman. Then, during Habit's final Morse code video, the conversation that takes place between the guys seemed to indicate again that Vinny is the Everyman. They have to protect the package, Vinny, and to do so, they had to handcuff Evan.
You're doing good. Remember, Jeff, I have any keys, so if anything goes down, you gotta protect the package. Every man. You gotta jump in front of him. Throw him into the woods and walk.
Vinny reminds Jeff he has to protect the package, Everyman. Evan makes a joke telling Jeff that protecting Everyman involves jumping in front of him, and Jeff mentions throwing him into the woods and running. Both Evan and Jeff are referring to Vinny here. Vinny is Everyman. So, where does that leave the roles of Voyeur, Firebrand, and Guardian? If Vinny is the everyman, that may take him out of the position to be any of the three unless he's wearing two costumes at once. Otherwise, the roles have
He
to
is
be
a
linked
hybrid,
to Jeff,
right?
Evan, and Stephanie. There's evidence to speak of in this debate later on. For now, keep in mind how strongly Habit's trying to show us connections. The selection from Pale Fire is meant to tie in with the summoning of Everyman through its themes and discussion. The summoning of Everyman through its themes and discussion is highly religious. And through the non-fiction documents Habit provided, the Corinthal letters, we know the only character in this story that fits the role of being both religious and an everyman is Vinny, with evidence provided from 3 different angles. Now, speaking of Corinthal letters, let's get to the document granted to Rabbit number 108 in the Jester's Prize. This one isn't like any of the others. It's written by a student under Dr. Adam Roberts, Cornthal's old colleague from Fairmount Children's Home. The student describes how Dr. Roberts has asked him for help in assisting an old colleague who sent him a piece of strange material for radiation imagery study. The student performed the task and reported finding a unique energy form that this machine assigned the title of Sigma radiation to.
Ooh.
From the odd behavior of the material, the student assumed he had been brought a scrap from some kind of experimental weapon. In the middle of his experiments, the student was visited by Dr. Roberts' colleague who asked what he had found. The evidence was inconclusive, impossible to determine what they were dealing with. In the end of the document, the man asked if they could at least build something that detects the energy signal it gave off. Back on Twitter, a viewer who had become internet friends with Jeff won Habit's survey by saying he'd even work against the EMH boys to get his hands on the prize. Habit delivered 2 links to the files, revealing that he'd gained access to the EverymanHYBRID Media Fire account. The password had been changed to the same one Shade gave to Kinboat in Pale Fire, Pity, plus the number 133 as written on the piece from the Jester's Prize. Inside was a file titled Dubious, which, surprisingly, turned out to be a Minecraft level. At the end of the level was a new password which gained access to the second file, 1995. Inside were 2 Corinthal documents dated July 22nd and 23rd in 1995. The first details Dr. Cornthal's visit to a medical conference in Florida at which Dr. Roberts was in attendance. He ended up opening the floor to discussion of the Mining Town 4 case, ultimately resulting in Dr. Corinthal being accused once again of killing his children. Roberts tried to stop me from storming out. I may have punched him. I had to leave that forsaken auditorium, which was adjacent to the facility's pediatrics ward. I noticed a young boy with sloppy brown hair receiving stitches in his arm. There was some family, the attending nurse, and a police officer present. This caught my curiosity. I forgot about the rubbish concerning the fellows meeting and stopped in to listen. Something about plunging from a park ranger's tower, playing a game, not his fault. Man made him do it. My veins ran cold at the nonchalant statement. I may have shoved the questioning policeman aside to talk to the boy. He greeted himself as Milo. Dr. Corinthal decided to meet with Milo's parents the next day to see if he could assist with the issues regarding their child. His journal entry begins as follows. Maybe I am just seeing patterns or possible leads in desperation. I do not care anymore, honestly. This young boy, Milo Asher, is incredibly unique compared to the other children I have spoken with.
Does that sound familiar? That's the exact paper that I read from the Tribe 12 video.
But since I've lost my own, he is not unusually talented or gifted or anything of that nature at all. Curiously enough, he is remarkably average as far as children are concerned.
That's
However,
not
the way he
nice.
speaks about his dreams, that is what sets Milo apart from the others. On the way to the house, I had stopped in at a craft parlor and purchased a small key and lock journal for the boy. The way he spoke out at the hospital led me to believe that he enjoyed stringing words together regardless of what he was actually saying. I was correct. He was extremely surprised and eager to mess around with it when I took it out of my bag. He rapidly came to the realization that a key and lock journal required an actual key to properly work with. We would have to speak before he received the key. He was relatively easy to work with. He didn't avoid the questioning, he didn't duck around corners or advert the situation on hand. Without me even mentioning it, he brought up dreams and the recurring nightmares he had been having. His other doctor had simply dismissed them as night terrors and of no medical concern. This was, of course, overlooking the fact that a seemingly sentient entity had told young Milo to leap from a ranger's tower in a park. The discussion led to the key player, subtle pun intended, in that beloved phrase that seemed to be popping up everywhere in my personal history. Man. The man made me do it. Man doesn't like to share, etc. I could not possibly overlook this detail. It screamed of parallels between Milo and my own children. In an almost whimsical nature, Milo described this creature. Tall, lanky in structure, dozens upon dozens of branch-like appendages, a completely featureless face. I remembered my children's various pieces of artwork from over the years. Just before I sat down to this diary entry, I dusted off my old chest and re-examined the kids' old pieces. Evan's picture book, Stephanie and Vincent's drawings, Jeffrey's short stories. Briefly sweeping over them, there were numerous hints towards this tall man. Milo seemed frightened of this man, but also held a sense of, let's just say, concerned respect.
Concerned
Accepted
respect.
inevitability. This worried me a great deal. He didn't seem eager to rid himself of this man. More so that he accepted this as how things would be and could not seek an accommodating change from its standing. He went on to tell me that this man had a particular plan for him, for other children too. They were all to go on a great journey together. The way Milo described it, it seemed like a vacation, disregarding the melancholy nature in which he told it. I felt incredibly foolish asking him this, and I still do for recollecting it, but I asked him if he knew any of my children. Any children named Evan, Jeffrey, Vincent, or Stephanie. Almost expectedly, he didn't. A television that was on in the living room unexpectedly shot up to maximum volume and then promptly turned off. Mrs. Asher muttered something under her breath, and I heard her rise from her seat to examine the piece. The silence between the peculiar incident concerning the TV and Mrs. Asher's comment was occupied by this dull buzzing noise that seemed to be emitting from the entire house, almost as if a microphone was just nearly too close to its speaker. Milo's attention suddenly perked up and he told me that he knew my children, contradicting his previous uncertainties. They've already been there, Doctor. I asked Milo what he meant. His attention snapped yet again and he stared at me curiously. He had no idea what I was talking about. I thanked the boy and his mother and was on my way. I promised to be back in touch with them soon.
So was he just briefly possessed
as
by
soon as I had entered my
Slenderman?
car, I broke down sobbing for a few moments.
Not Slenderman.
What the hell did the boy mean? They've already been there, Doctor. They've been dead since 1981. I cannot do anything to change that. Milo was confused. I can't go off of an impaired child's offhand comment in order to chance the impossible. I won't risk dragging Linny back into this. She has her own life now. But what?
When they said they went to find the hidden treasure, is that what he meant by they were already there? Is that what he meant?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
What did that mean? They've already been there. Does this mean that they have left this place? That they've escaped? On a rather curious side note, as I left the house of Asher, I noticed something across the way. There was a torn piece of black cloth gently pinched to a dying thorn bush that had caught my eye. I pulled the burlap-esque material from the plant and felt suddenly lightheaded. This cloth gave my skin the sensation of a soft vibration and made me feel slightly ill. I was going to take it to an old friend to see if he could make any sense of it. That piece of black cloth is the very same material brought to Dr. Roberts for study in the document from the Jester's Prize. The student examining it had been right in thinking his sudden visitor was the owner of the material. It had been James Corenthal, checking if there was any word on what he found outside Milo Asher's house. As for his statement at the end about building a device to detect its energy pattern, the Sigma radiation, he got his wish. The black box device found in Corenthal's storage was the machine he had asked for, and it makes its true nature known to the Everyman Hybrid group in their next video, Sigma. Alex is over Evan's house while he holds the camera. Evan thanks him for coming over and allowing him to stab his thumb for the purpose of this video, then remarks that he's surprised Jeff let Alex leave the house after dropping some recent rules. Alex admits he's actually snuck out and not to tell Jeff. Then the video is cut off by black and white.
So, I'm pretty sure that he's gonna clear this up, but does Evan emit Sigma radiation because he has habit in him?
recorded sideways footage of Jeff telling Alex something very different than "don't leave the house without me knowing." He tells Alex that he doesn't want him being around Evan without him present. It certainly doesn't seem to be footage Jeff would record on purpose, and nothing Evan would put in the video himself. The video reverts back to Evan's basement, where he agrees to have Alex home quick and get on with his point.
Internet. Here's what I brought all of you here for. Don't touch! No, I was kidding, don't touch it. This thing. When we found it, we had no fucking idea what it was, what it did. To be honest, I still really don't, but Jeff kind of does. Thanks to some notes or something that you guys gave us. Something about this thing detects some kind of like sigma radiation, something like that. Don't throw my knives around, please.
Oh, sorry.
But it ticked in the storage facility when we saw him, like right there. It was going crazy. It was, and apparently, this sigma radiation comes off of the Slender Man. He emits it, like, I don't know, BO or something. Again, I don't know too much about
So
what that
then Habit
means,
emits it
but,
too,
I've been
right?
fiddling with this, and here's what I found. I got this idea back when my arm got clawed up at your house. And we were running through your house, and I was bleeding all over the place, which I apologize again for, by the way. I went past this thing, and it started just going like, making noises. So I'm thinking, that's a little weird. So I snagged this from your brother's house a few days ago. And here's what I found. This is a bit of your blood, okay? Yep, over there. This is a bit of my blood. Now, check this out. Remember, this thing detects some kind of radiation. Nothing. Hey, you are radiation-free. Congratulations.
Sweet.
My blood.
Cool. That's weird, dude. Dude, that's weird.
Just in case you think it's glitching up. It's not. Apparently my blood has fucking radiation in it or some shit. I don't know what that means. And it's kind of unsettling to think, hey, you know, same kind of radiation that comes off of BO from monsters. Fucking wonderful. It's just some creepy shit, man. Unnerving as hell, you know what I mean?
Can't say I'm happy that I found out my brother snuck out through a damn 3-minute video on our own account. But no harm, no foul, I suppose. I'll talk to Evan tonight about the blood test? Ordinarily, those two tweets should read in perfect succession, one after the other with a possible 1 or 2 minute interval, right? However, that wasn't the case with these tweets. The first came on July 27th. The second arrived on July 31st. Time seems to have expanded between the arrival of these tweets, but Jeff doesn't seem to have intended that. This hasn't happened before. It's as if Jeff leapt forward in time without realizing it while typing his reaction, and he doesn't even know. In fact, time seems to keep dragging itself out between tweets as the next one arrives on August 11th, over a full week later. Evan, Vin, Steph, and myself all tested positive for whatever the hell the black device detects in our blood.
Oh,
With the kind
never
of discovery
mind.
Evan had made and the proximity of everyone to his house, why did it take so long for everyone to gather and get tested? Something more is happening here than we're actually seeing. Shortly before this incident and the Sigma video, Habit also let some information slip through Can You See the Words? He releases a blog post written from the perspective of a 20-year-old man named Nicholas living with his dog, Chowder. The post is titled, "A Little Ongoing Experiment of Mine." Nicholas writes, "Every day, I think about killing myself. I've tried 8 times in the last 3 days, but now my will is gone. The faceless man won't let me, and the habit just laughs when I try. They walk around my house like it's theirs. The habit leaves often to do God knows what, but the faceless man, he's always here. Sometimes I can't see him,
Oh.
but I do see the wooden furniture rotting, and I see the trees outside my house dying. I only catch glimpses of him sometimes, but he's always watching me.
Always watching.
My parents are gone, so is my little sister. I can still smell their blood. The habit made sure I watched my parents bleed, but my sister, Anna, is just gone. All I got left is Chowder. He's kinda chubby, but he's awesome, always at my feet. I don't know if that's to comfort me or to hide from these things. I found out today that my mother was raped in order to create me. I think I should be upset, but the faceless man calms me. I feel nothing but the deep emptiness because of him. Hollow, thoughts a bit scattered. The habit tells me, Nick, old buddy, I'm gonna make you a fucking animal. Something for your mother to be proud of. He raped my mother, and he smiles at me. Today, the habit killed Chowder. Chowder ran, but I caught him. He's too fat. He stuck his fingers in Chowder's eyes and Chowder cried. The habit pulled off his head like it was nothing, like his neck was made of tissue paper. I knew it was the habit, but Chowder knew it was me, and he didn't understand. Despite the faceless man and the calm emptiness, I cried. The habit says to me, "That a boy, Nicky, you'll be ready in no time." I ask, ready for what? He says, ready to fight something. I ask, what am I going to fight? And he says, someone you used to know, Nick. I want to see how well he's doing. You see, he's an experiment, Nicky, like you. I'm sorry, whoever I'm supposed to fight, but I'm strong as shit and big as a motherfucker. The habit will make me kill you. I don't want to, but I will. I tried to kill myself again 3 hours ago. He just laughed. The faceless man just watched. Habit's communications continue with his next tweets, an exciting moment for all of his surviving competitors.
Get ready, rabbits. Your final and 7th trial will be released in mere minutes. Trial 7. Keep your body breathing.
No further instructions were delivered to clarify what habit meant. If there was an obstacle that would challenge the final trial, it wasn't made obvious. At least, not on Twitter. On Tumblr, however, Habit used "Can you see the words" to provide one more article of insight from an outside source. The last of Roger's notes concerning a rather handsome beast. Roger Palladino. Notes on the Habit. Roger Palladino's journal entries indicate he was hunting Habit in the summer of 2004 and had been on the trail for 5 years. He begins the July 25th entry by stating he's found a survivor of one of Habit's attacks, Monica Schwartz. Roger's attention was brought to Monica after Habit used her husband to hurt her. In what way she was hurt, Roger doesn't tell. She was told by Habit of a warehouse nearby that, upon investigation, held everything Roger was looking for. Newspaper clippings of murders and terrorist attacks dating back farther than he ever expected, as well as Nazi propaganda and a lot of human remains. In preparation of his confrontation with Habit, Roger provides us all with the facts he knows for sure. Habit can possess
Sorry, I'm not talking too much. I'm like very invested and I'm learning a lot. But this answers my question. One of the questions I had.
Multiple persons.
Habit can
he has
possess
little to
more
no
than just
regard for the people
Evan.
he inhabits, in some cases mutilating his host for intimidation or some kind of sick pleasure. He has the ability to push a human body to its farthest limits of speed and strength and will find a new host body if he's fatally wounded. This category falls under the criteria of traumatic head wounds, spinal cord damage, and other severely fatal or debilitating injuries. Unless killed, there is no way to forcibly remove Habit from his host body. It's a good thing Roger delivered his field notes before going to the warehouse. From the rest of the post, we find that Habit had caught him and forced Roger to write about what happened. Upon entering the building and attempting to subdue Habit, Roger ended up on the business end of a fire axe with his foot caught in a bear trap. His last resort, a SWAT team call, came in time for Roger to survive so he could see their efforts. I laid on the ground and that thing just looked at me and said, "Was it worth it, Roger?" And when light filled the windows behind it and they all blew out, I just smiled and said, "Yep." Problem was, it didn't get scared. It just smiled back and turned toward the light. I think that's when the music started. I forget the guy who sings it, but that song Super Beast just started playing from the speakers in the warehouse. It was so fast, but I remember smoke filling the room as they came in, and I remember them yelling, demanding the weapons be put down. Then the inevitable. I heard some of the men chuckling to themselves real nervously. The Habit just started walking towards them. That's when the shooting started. I got the bear trap open just as bullets started flying. They hit everywhere, but I stayed low, made for the door. Bullets don't scare me. I've been shot at before. But what did scare me was the distinct sound of a fire axe slamming through helmets and the screams of confused men who were probably wondering why their teammates were shooting them. I made my way outside and was taken to Ed. I was just about to tell him what he was up against when the front doors flew open. It walked out with about 3 officers escorting it. The Habit was pretending to be under arrest, hands behind its back and that grin on its face. Ed wouldn't listen. No one would. It didn't take long for this thing to have everyone in the whole goddamn place killing each other. Some of them were just laughing like the SWAT team. Others were begging to be stopped, and some were just tearing out their own eyes and throats. The music was so loud it almost muffled the screams. Almost. I puked, and when I looked up, the chopper was falling from the sky, but I saw something in the explosion. I saw it just for a second, but it looked like a person, easily 12 feet tall and thin, with arms as long as its body. I swear I saw it again while typing this, but it doesn't matter. The Habit knocked me out, and I woke up here. And here, I'll die. So that's basically what happened to me. I made sure that I left in the cool parts like it asked. Not like I had a fucking choice. Funny thing is, I really thought that this one was gonna put me on the map. Oh well, I always knew I was gonna die on one of these jobs. But before I go, I should mention to anyone else who might read this. The Habit is trying to make something. Some kind of perfect shell to live in. The shell I saw it in died shortly after the fight, but survived much more abuse than it should have. Just know that if wounding its head or heart past a normal human being's limits doesn't kill it, you should run the fuck away. Well, it's here now. I guess this is it. Whoever you are, good luck, and goodbye. The final entry from Roger Palladino only proves the notes he's taken are true. Habit managed to turn a whole SWAT team against itself, making men fire on each other while putting a fire axe through combat helmets. He's capable of taking a host body while also driving others to commit evil actions around him. And while his last host body was exceptional, taking much more abuse than it should have before dying, he's still looking for the perfect vehicle to operate from. This blog post took place in 2004, which means Habit may have found his proper body since then or has been borrowing others on his way to the right shell. The case of Nick in the last blog post becomes easily understood with Roger's info in place. Habit is using him as a temporary host, pushing him to commit atrocities in his own home as a test of compatibility. Today, the Habit killed Chowder. Chowder ran, but I caught him. He's too fat. He stuck his fingers in Chowder's eyes and Chowder cried. The Habit pulled off his head like it was nothing, like his neck was made of tissue paper. I knew it was the Habit, but Chowder knew it was me, and he didn't understand. Despite the faceless man and the calm emptiness, I cried. Notice also his mention of the faceless man. It certainly seems to sync up with Roger's description of a 12-foot tall person seen through the helicopter crash. If this character sounds
Nick
familiar,
is on
it
one
ought
of
to. Habit's been alluding to
their
Slenderman's
friends,
presence in his
isn't it?
previous entries on
Isn't
Can You
he?
See the Words all along. Nick saw him in the last blog post, Johnny saw him before that, and Dawn was delivered to him by Habit personally. Habit has been traveling with Slenderman through time, working with him in what seems to be a definite partnership. Slenderman's reward in their arrangement is clearly the children Habit helps procure through his family murders. Slenderman's method of operation certainly seems to be child abduction if the cases of Milo Asher and the original Fairmount Children's Home EMH crew are anything to go by. As for what Habit is getting out of the partnership, that remains to be seen outside of what Slenderman's done during Habit's murder sprees. He apparently provides life support and mental anesthetic to Habit's victims and host body experiments, keeping them calm or extending their life until Habit finishes his work. Habit goes entirely silent on Twitter and Tumblr after delivery of Roger's final journal. Similarly, very little action is seen on the Everyman Hybrid side until September 17th when the truly unexpected video lands.
Alright, go ahead.
Hey guys, it is Vin again, and right now we are on our way to pick up someone named Noah Maxwell from the train station. I don't know if any of you have heard of him, but he seems to be having the same predicament, or be in the same predicament that we are.
Predicament.
So we got an impromptu meetup. We just called him a couple days ago, and he contacted us back, and
He's visiting family in the
Yeah.
area,
so we decided to pick him up from the train station, ask him a few questions, and I'm gonna get back to
Interrogate
driving.
him.
Yeah, I'm getting back to driving, so I'll see you guys later.
Okay, this answers my question. So, yes, the time that he posted the tweet about the riddles is around the same time that they were doing the 7 Trials of Habit, in which means that he may or may not have copied their may or may not have copied their idea of the 7 trials of habit.
So, who wants to play Padiddle?
Nope. Not in the car.
Francis.
Appreciate the offer.
Oh yeah.
Check this Camaro.
Oh, what do we got here?
Slow down, dude.
What? Oh hey.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Having a little bit of car trouble.
Oh alright.
Yeah, I think so. I think I got some in the back. Just let me. Yeah, I'll flip around and I'll
Yeah.
see what we can do. Alright, I'm just gonna go see if I have cables in the back. I'll be over inside.
Alrighty.
Hey, gentlemen.
Hey gentlemen, how's it going?
How's it going?
Good, man.
Thank you so much for stopping.
No problem, no problem.
We will never probably be stranded here.
The strangers our EMH crew stops to help out are actually Chris and Alex from Dark Harvest, another Slenderman series that takes place in New Jersey. We'll be exploring their story in the near future, but for the moment, the group helps out the stranded newcomers, or attempts to begin helping until the car seems to turn itself back on.
Maybe if I try to push it.
Okay.
Well, magic.
Yeah, magic.
I told you guys, magic.
We didn't get your names. Jeff.
I'm Vin.
All right.
Alex, you guys.
Evan, nice to meet you.
Jesse.
All right.
That's
Your brother's name
That's
is
Vin.
Nice.
Thank you.
Oh,
Evan,
no problem, guys. Good luck on your travels.
We'll explore them. Voice crack, we'll explore them.
That was weird.
That was weird as shit.
Yeah, anytime. No problem.
I didn't do anything.
The guys head on to the train station to pick up Noah and aren't driving around for too long before they spot him.
Platform and living's easy.
Making a left, I think? Up, Evan. Evan.
What?
There he is.
Oh, hey. Hey, Noah.
Come on. It's us.
Noah, what's up?
What's up, man?
We are the Everyman Hybrid crew. It is nice to meet you.
I'm Vin.
Hey guys.
This
I'm
is
also
Evan.
filming it.
I like the way he said that.
Yeah, we can throw that on the
Alright,
back.
cool, yeah.
It is nice to meet you.
That was good.
A lot of traffic.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, train traffic.
You alright?
Yeah, I'm fine, bro. Just,
Afraid of trains.
yeah, for the trains.
Alright, well, if you don't mind, we're gonna go back to my house and ask you a few questions. You can do the same to us.
No problem.
I'll get something to eat.
I only have like 3 minutes
it's
left.
recording.
You guys look goofy as shit.
Okay, this answers what I said about in the Tribe 12 video. As you can hold on a second.
I only have like 3 minutes left.
He has the flip one. Why did I say it like that? He has the flip one. And as you can see, right here, it has a red button, a red light, which means it's recording. So him sitting down in front of his parents, being like, I'm not recording, he's clearly recording.
You guys look goofy as shit.
God, that frustrates me.
I can't believe I'm laughing about this.
Ready? Boom.
It's the only way it'll keep you sane, man.
Okay, I'm gonna shut mine off.
The letter that we've got found from the media fire with the password that was given to us from the Minecraft map. Noah has the actual,
the physical package.
Yeah, in case
has
you
the
guys,
actual,
in case
has
you
the
guys
actual
don't
letter.
know me, I'm Noah Maxwell. I live in Florida.
Yep.
I was sent this containing that, and
Which seems to relate to us.
Yeah.
So here he is.
That's right. The burnt document in Noah's envelope from Habit is a copy of the Korenthal Journal about meeting Milo Asher in 1995, which Habit gave away to viewers through the Everyman Hybrid MediaFire account. This meeting was arranged entirely by Habit, just as he aligned the past of Stephanie from Can You See the Words in the Hybrid guys during their first year of activity. The file Vinny mentions is provided in the video description. As Jeff stated, in preparation for their meeting with Noah, the guys went through all of Korenthal's material again to see if they could find anything pertinent to the situation at hand. The result was one document from the year 1990. I feel uncomfortable. It's been 2 weeks since I've dreamt at all. The silence has been incredibly nurturing. However, this afternoon I fell asleep in my sunroom just after reading some novel. It wasn't a night terror. It wasn't images of my family. It was just odd. Visions, glimpses, flashes of a man and a woman, complete strangers to me, having sex. These scenes were cut between a conversation that my Lenny was having with good old William, a conversation that seemed to predate whatever episode I had accounted for of Lenny's a month ago. I can't recall the whole conversation, but it was all very confusing. No, Lynn, you weren't blood-related. Yes, you all seem to get along very well. I know. You're right, the resemblance is uncanny. It just doesn't feel right. If you're going to go, just be careful. I'll call you if I find anything that can give you a little bit of insight. I know how insane it must all sound. Lenny left William and dear Rose to find someone. She was confused about her former sibling's life and demise. Someone who seemed to know about them as well. Maybe it's time to rethink the scope of my investigation. Silence continues on all fronts from here except for YouTube, and from the presentation of the next video, it almost seems as if other avenues of communication have gone dead from interference rather than neglect. The video uploaded on November 1st has a distinct marking before it's even played. A title in all capital letters, Halloween Hangover.
Nice job.
From here, the video turns to Habit's usual formatting of jump cuts between events. Jeff's story in this video entails examining Jess's necklace before retrieving a bottle of pills from his dresser. He takes them all, attempting to overdose in an apparent suicide attempt. Vinny is seen through a grainy series of cameras in his home. His dog detects something in the house, and after going to investigate, Vinny encounters Slender Man in a hallway. In his attempt to run away, he finds the door out of the basement blocked by Slender Man and falls down the stairs, only to pick himself up by grabbing the bathroom door handle. He closes it behind him and hides, but comes down with slender sickness and begins coughing blood in the sink. Vinny lays on the floor until suddenly disappearing. All through this, footage is taken of a flood in the nearby park slowly overtaking the shore. The water keeps rising until it engulfs the bottom of a park bench. Stephanie's metaphor about Slender Man's influence is shown in reality as Vinny is overcome by the sickness in his own home. Finally, a clip is shown of Evan and Vinny going to visit Lexi, Vinny's new girlfriend, who he met at the library during their investigation into James Kornthal.
I'll tell you, man, this is probably one of the... No, fuck that. The only good thing to come out of this. You know, I feel normal. It feels almost like it did before all this shit went down. You know, when I'm with her, it's nice. It's calm.
It only gets better, brother.
How would you know?
Well, you know, Steph's been living with me.
Oh, yeah?
I am still confused about that. Is he with Steph or is he with Jesse? I'm so very confused about that because he had his arm wrapped around Jesse, which was made clear to me that that's not a normal thing for a guy friend and a female friend to do. That's not a normal thing. That's a thing for a boyfriend and a girlfriend. That's intimacy, like not like platonic intimacy. That's like relationship intimacy. So why not? I'm so confused.
I mean, emotionally.
Right, yeah, oh, yeah, of course, of course.
I don't...
Oh, no.
Alright, maybe she was just waiting for us.
I don't think so.
Nope.
Fuck. Turn on the lights around the corner. Get that switch. Oh, shit. Lex? What are you doing? Lex? Oh, are you kidding? Shit. Her roommate's not home. What? Oh, no.
Go outside and call the fucking cops.
I'm filming. Oh, shit. Fuck. kidding? You're gonna put me on hold?
911 doesn't put you on hold, do they?
Okay, fuck you. What the hell was that noise? What was that scream? Evan?
Fucking leaving.
The next video uploaded is titled Outside Help, again in all capital letters. It opens with footage from May 18th, 2010, and Evan is talking to the group's friend Nick about the Slender Man
yeah, it
break-in
is
at Evan's
Nick.
house.
Okay, yeah.
Back then, the crew still thought it was a prank, and because they'd used Nick before to help them with their Slender Man gag in the early videos, they presumed it was him. Nick denies being the one to break into Evan's house, and the matter is settled between them. The scene shifts to a very short compilation.
Hello, Evan?
No, brother.
Evan, what the fuck is going on? Hello?
Yeah. Jeff didn't tell you?
No, he called me and told me that you sent Steph over to his place because shit was going down at yours.
Yeah. Well, shit. I don't know how to explain it, but I guess I'll just give you the brief story. Do you remember Nick?
Yeah, Nick is pretty hard to forget. He's built like a monster and as big as a house. Yeah, I remember Nick.
You're fucking right, he is, man. Or he was.
Oh, what do you mean he was?
Well, Nick broke into my house tonight.
Holy shit. He broke in like, hey, joking around, like we thought he did last time, or he actually broke into your house?
Tried to kill me, man. He goddamn near did it, too. Man, I'm fucked up 6 ways to Sunday, Steph said he probably broke 1 or 2 of my ribs, she thinks, or I don't know, it hurts like a motherfucker, man.
Why the hell did he do
Knocking
that?
on my hand.
Evan goes on to describe how he asked Nick why he was doing this but received no response. The fight just continued until something gave Evan the upper hand.
Hey, he's dead.
What do you mean he's dead? Did you do it?
I don't know. I didn't kill him. I didn't want to kill him. I didn't kill him.
All right.
I don't think it was real, though. I don't think it was even real.
Well, Evan, calm down. Tell me what
We
happened.
were
Tell me
fighting in
what
my
you remember.
basement. Fighting in my fucking basement, man.
Okay.
And then we're somewhere else. We're fucking somewhere else. So fucking rib. So then, I mean, it could have just been fake, right? It could have just been fake.
Yeah, you could have, Evan, you could have passed out, you could have blacked out, and maybe you thought you killed him and he just went away. I mean, if there's no body, right? I mean, he's not there. Nick's not there with you. So he had to have gone somewhere.
I felt it that crack. I felt it fucking snap, brother.
All right, Evan, I know
My
how you must
fucking
feel.
hands, Vinny. It was my fucking hands that did. Fuck, that fucking hurt.
I know how you must feel, but we got to make sure that this actually happened. Where you said that you weren't in your basement. Where did you go? Where could you have gone?
It was that tree, you know, that fucking tree. Up in the hiking trail.
Oh, the tree at Ballpate.
All I remember clear was he had me up against a fucking wall, and I don't know. It was like something knocking on the inside of my head, something clawing. It was like saying, you know, let me help, you know what I mean? It felt like that. Let me help if we can take him, and then
All right, Evan.
the next thing I know,
Habit.
we're there. I'm not me. I'm fucking. It was my head. It was fucking that.
Evan, it's gonna be okay. Just calm down.
It's just after this point that Evan speaks to Vinny about one more issue he has. He's noticed a tiny camera in the basement and he stares straight at it as he tells Vinny.
Like tiny little black fucking camera.
Oh,
Little antenna sticking out of it. It's probably the size of my thumb.
Evan, I think what you got right now is what we call a pinhole camera. And that means that someone, or something, or a fucking combination of the two, is watching you or us. Because those things, as you said, had an antenna on it?
Yeah.
That means that someone is recording it from somewhere. So, fuck. How many did you find?
And I'm looking at one right now.
Alright, so you've got 2?
There.
Alright, well, what we'll do is when I come over, we'll look for more. I mean, I can't imagine that there'd be many more, but we'll come look. And then we'll have to scour my house and Jeff's house. But Evan, we're gonna get through this, okay? I promise.
Thanks.
We're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep pushing. We're gonna make it through.
Yeah, you're right.
Alright, I'm on my way. I'll be there in a minute.
We'll see you soon, brother.
Alright. Try and sit down and get some rest, okay?
Yeah.
I know it's hard, but just try.
Nick came to Evan's house to fight him, actually tried to kill him, and while Evan begged for an explanation, none came. There's been no mention of Nick or sight of him in the series for quite a while. We've seen more of Daniel than we have of Nick. But here he is attacking Evan out of the blue and suddenly being transported to another place with him where something in Evan's head helps him finish the fight. Do you remember Habit's blog post about a recent experiment of his from the perspective of a young man named Nick? Today the Habit killed Chowder. Chowder ran, but I caught him. He's too fat. He stuck his fingers in Chowder's eyes and Chowder cried. The Habit pulled off his head like it was nothing, like his neck was made of tissue paper. I knew it was the Habit, but Chowder knew it was me and he didn't understand. The Habit says to me, "That a boy, Nicky. You'll be ready in no time." I ask, ready for what? He says, ready to fight something. I ask, what am I going to fight? He says, someone you used to know, Nick. I want to see how well he's doing. You see, he's an experiment, Nicky. Like you. I am sorry whoever I'm supposed to fight, but I'm strong as shit and big as a motherfucker. The Habit will make me kill you. I don't want to, but I will.
Do you remember Nick?
Yeah, Nick is pretty hard to forget. He's built like a monster and as big as a house. Yeah, I remember Nick.
The Nick that Habit's been using for a host body was the old friend of the EMH crew who came into Evan's basement and attempted to kill him. Evan was not fighting Nick. He was fighting Habit. And why? Because he's an experiment, Nicky, like you. Habit has a vested interest in Evan and he wanted to perform a test. Based on Evan's submission to the sudden offer of help from an internal voice and his victory over Nick, Evan passed that test. And though Habit himself was the only one who needed to get results, he set up hidden cameras to catch the whole thing in order to show us the fight too. Clearly, this footage was something the EMH guys wouldn't want us to see. Putting one of their own into the public eye as a potential murder suspect confessing to the killing? That's more suffering than they've ever willfully put themselves through. Add in the classic capitalized title and extra shots and it becomes clear that this was another Habit-produced video, just like the one before it. Just like all the other ones before it. The Morse code videos and even the sudden inserts of footage that the guys didn't know exist. Even if Habit needed to set up all these secret cameras for himself, the ones in Evan's house, the one in Jeff's room, the one in Vinny's basement, and the ones in Jeff's upstairs hallway that caught Alex running from the monster in his room, he didn't need to show us the footage. It's not something we as viewers needed to see, unless Habit needed us to see them. Think of the way that Habit's been operating. At every single turn, if there was something to be discovered, he had a hand in it. The packages, the Corenthal documents, Stephanie's blog just as she moved into the Princeton area 20 minutes from the guys. And the majority of the information wasn't even meant to be given to the Everyman Hybrid crew. It was for us. It was for the viewership. Now, even without Corenthal documents or coordinates or secret packages, he's still feeding us information, even going as far as to say, here's what they haven't shown you. Even if the guys are keeping secrets, Habit isn't trying to. He's trying to reveal them to us using the guy's own YouTube channel and Twitter account to do so. Then Habit moves on to create the 7 trials, which involves such a huge focus on paying attention to him, doing what he says for his approval, competing for a prize we don't know anything about, going out in public to protest on his behalf and perform poetry readings celebrating Habit and his legacy while recording it all. Look at the signs, rabbits. The Everyman Hybrid channel is not about Evan, Jeff, and Vinny. It is not about Stephanie. It's not about Alex or the feral monster stalking him.
That's about
It is
Habit.
not even about Slenderman. This
about
entire endeavor is about Habit. Habit owns this show. He's been in control since the very beginning. Not even 6 videos into their own project, and the guys were interrupted by a Morse code video showing how strongly Habit was working behind the scenes. Video after video goes up created and edited by the guys, and somehow, Habit slips his own material into it without their knowledge. They still can't even see what he's made. When they've tried, it's resulted in a group relapse, as Dr. Corenthal called it, followed by passing out and bleeding from the nose and ears. Everyman Hybrid is a web series being filmed and edited by Vinny, Evan, and Jeff, but Habit is the true director and producer, and the real final cut always comes down to his vision and agenda. It doesn't matter what the EMH guys want you to see or hear. Habit's opinion and desire are all that matter. This is a show for him, by him, and his actors are completely oblivious. They aren't the only ones he's done this to either. Look at the blog entries on Can You See the Words? Each and every time, a journal by someone who was forced to write by Habit or convinced to do so. Even the rabbits from the 7 trials have been played, made to do horrible, embarrassing, self-degrading things in public and on video for his pleasure.
Piss and moan, you complain as if this is a game for your enjoyment. Get over yourself.
Slenderman may own the EMH crew in the sense that he's overseeing their iteration cycles, but his arrangement with Habit on this matter may be that he gets to use them for entertainment during each iteration. How do we know this is even the first time they produced a web series or enacted some kind of performance? We've seen a direct overlap of actions repeated through separate iterations, suggesting it runs precisely like a video game level that's been failed. You try to work your way through the mission, you die, you respawn at the start, and you do it all over again. Habit has had more power and influence over the entire sequence of events than we ever suspected, and his motives are finally starting to become clear. We are his viewership, not Evan, Jeff, and Vinny's. Still, they continue to upload their own videos, starting with a new entry on December 19th.
Alright, so I'm going to start logging these. I found this little camera wedged all the way back in that little hole. And I guess really the point of this is just to log where they are so I can check in a few days to make sure that none have made a return appearance.
Like I said, I can't explain it.
Are you guys talking about those emails again?
Yeah. Oh, so you can't explain why you just erased them all. You just erased them all. You didn't do that.
I didn't consciously sit down and make this decision. It just fucking happened. I don't know when it happened either. I check it daily. And at some point over the
conflict.
last month, I erased, I don't know, maybe 3 weeks worth of fucking messages from the people. I can't explain it. I won't sit here and fucking try. You don't know what happened with Nick.
That's fucking
Hold
different.
on.
Don't even get that shit into it. Yeah, it's fucking different.
Hold on. There's no reason to spill bad blood between us because of this shit. We're getting off track. We're talking about the emails, Jeff. I know.
It doesn't make sense, and I'm sorry, and I apologize for it.
We've all been off. We've all had our off moments. Evan, you of all people should know.
Yep.
We've all had our off moments.
Yeah, Evan especially.
I understand, but at the same time, we gotta stop.
I
need to talk to
I
these
would
people.
love to.
They're helping us.
Didn't do it on purpose. Again, I'm sorry.
I know.
I
It's
won't
okay.
sign in.
Okay. We need to have, these people are one of our main lifelines. So we can't cut off that one outside source. We need to keep talking to them. I can't stress how important that is. In the trash bin, I'll look at it, Evan will look at it, and then we'll completely delete it if it has to be deleted.
Anything you got a problem with, we'll throw out, man. But you know what I'm saying?
I'm glad that that's settled. Let's just move
You
on.
want to cheese it? Will that make you feel better?
After this conversation, Vinny downloads an app to track down Wi-Fi signals, and they soon discover a wireless connected hard drive underneath the front stairs, attached with purple duct tape. It's 500 gigabytes strong and more than capable of being connected to the cameras inside the house. The next video on December 24th is a nice departure from the usual events in the hybrids' lives.
Hey hybrids, I just wanted to take a break from the Christmas party to basically clear something up. It seems that the last 3 videos there's been a little confusion. The most recent video was actually done by me. I did have the security footage. I found it on the hard drive and I incorporated it into the video. The other 2 videos that you guys keep talking about, again, you know, we can't see them.
This is only more proof that Halloween Hangover and outside help weren't the products of the EMH crew. They're videos by habit for us alone to see. Vinny ventures back over to the group, which includes Alex, the guy's friend Daniel, and off-screen, Stephanie. Evan goes to find her as Jeff receives Alex's gift, an air horn. The video then cuts to a new scene.
Let me turn that off.
Just recording.
Oh man. Thinking back to when my parents did it, I always think to myself, like, it should fucking be me in that car, you know? Like, I should be at the bottom of that fucking creek right now.
No. Oh, no.
Like, I can't be I can't be Alex's dad. I'm not a father. Like, he's missing out on so much. And like, yeah, we're fine financially, but
Hey,
it's not normal.
you're not his
How
dad.
are you fine financially?
It's not. And I can't pretend that you're his dad, and you can't pretend that you're his dad. But you are doing way better than me or Evan or anybody else I know could be doing in this situation, dude. This is something that you and him are getting through, and I'm very proud of both of you. Just trying to...
Feels like I shouldn't be here, you know? Like, I should have died instead of them.
Not at all. Me and Evan need you here. Alex definitely sure as hell needs you here. You're doing all right. You're doing all right.
Thanks, man.
No problem. Want me to get this?
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Oh!
Did we just experience an iteration bleed through? Was that footage from habit interrupted by even more footage he's taken? The underwater scenes have appeared before in the Morse code videos. Did Jeff actually drown during another cycle? There isn't more to be found from this moment as the Christmas party continues.
Oh, Evan's got a gift, it looks like.
Can I open mine first?
Jeff actually opened his first already. So,
Can I... Remember? Yeah,
you can go. You go.
Yeah.
You go first. Go ahead.
Yep. This is Evan, waiting on a pretty important thing for you internet. I don't even know if I'm going to show this to the internet, man. Screw that. How you doing in there? You, need help? Steph, what is it?
You'll see.
What?
Just let him. Just let him.
Another
What'd you get? No time for Collins. We got Christmas. Oh no.
God.
Oh!
It looks like
It's so awesome! It's so awesome! It's so... Give me it. Give it here. Give it here.
That was almost dangerous.
Awesome.
Oh.
Thank you.
This was almost Daniel's last Christmas.
Daniel won.
Okay, let's give one good look to the camera. Evan, look to the camera. There it is. Nice. The face of an
He's
angel.
so cute with his
And,
little knife.
J-Dog.
I'm not calling him cute, I'm just saying that smile.
Yeah.
It gave it an adorable look.
J-Dog, you guys, is Jeff's tactical name, as my tactical name is Evac. And we use these names on Call of Duty and on Halo when we need to get tactical.
Go ahead.
Don't look like that. Okay.
How do you think that sounded?
That sounds great.
Thank you. I know that's my dog.
All right, hybrids. Well, now we're gonna wrap this up, and I think everybody's gonna say their goodbyes,
See ya. Happy holidays.
and we're gonna go ahead and charge for later.
Stop ruining it.
This is Santaman Hybrid signing off.
See ya.
Stephanie appears to be pregnant with Evan's child, a shock that may only add to the struggle the group is experiencing. And in another inserted moment, we see Alex playing with his bass guitar, and while it's not entirely clear what he says, it does sound as if he's admitting he knows the sock puppet isn't really his dog. The next video arrives on January 20th, titled Jim Thorpe, the town in Pennsylvania that the group's friend Jesse lives in.
You want to give them a heads up where we're going? There's people
I'm
out in La La
so
Land.
confused.
We're going to visit Jessie. She is back from school. She's chilling up here in the Jim Thorpe land. Her family's got a house up here. So that's where we're going.
Somewhere. It's up here somewhere.
It's up here
Are
somewhere.
we sure that we have the right address? Because the GPS said we made it.
I'm pretty
and
sure
I
it's
see no
4. I'm pretty sure it's 4.
But we didn't put 4 into the GPS. There's 22. We're on the wrong street. Let's.
Jessie. Hello.
It's this one. Jeff, if we get lost out.
Calm down. Calm down.
Yeah, right?
What? Did you call the police? No, stay exactly where you are. Don't try to leave.
Vin, how far away are we?
If you're already hidden, then just fucking stay there.
As far as I can
We are
tell,
on our fucking way.
5
We're
minutes,
gonna be
I
there
just
in
gotta
like a
find
few
it.
fucking minutes.
What's going on?
Try faster.
Did you stop recording?
No, give me a camera. The hell is he doing?
You haven't.
Why is music blasting?
What the fuck? Ev!
Jesse!
Shit.
Do you have anything in the car? Good night.
We've got our clothes. He's got the only.
Jesse!
Holy shit. Holy shit. Jeff,
Fuck this shit, man.
where are you going? Oh god. Oh god. Oh god.
Siren Head!
The following video is uploaded on January 23rd, titled Jesse.
Jeff! Jeff!
Jeff, I'm here. Come on. Jeez.
What happened?
They haven't come back. The thing's gone, man. I don't know.
He's gone?
The thing is, yeah, I don't know where Evan is.
Oh, let me get up. Okay. All right, it's recording. Wait.
Evan!
Evan!
He's dead. They tore the fuck apart.
Was she still in there?
Oh. Benny!
Evan, we can't just leave her like
Said
that.
she's fucking dead.
Well, we can't just leave her like that. You kidding?
You can't just go the fuck in there with your fucking camera.
He has a point.
We're leaving.
She's right there. We can't leave her.
Benny. That's all that's left. Can we please go?
Let's get out of here. I'm sorry.
you know that I wasn't leaving you back there. That thing chased me after I used Alex's horn. You know, I just wanted to get it away from the property. I don't know.
Don't worry about it. I appreciate it. What?
I was out in the woods, you know, being tracked. The other thing showed up and stopped it. I mean,
You tried to save us?
no, it wasn't benevolent.
We haven't seen him in months, and all of a sudden he pops out of nowhere.
I don't know.
Funny sense of humor it
the siren,
has.
and the other one was gone. They were both gone.
Teleported.
Well, whatever the hell's going on with that, there's one thing that I have an issue with. As long as he's asleep. He doesn't want us to upload what happened after I got attacked. And I understand completely. But to all the people who care about Jesse, and all the people who have been helping us, they deserve to see the full story. They deserve to see what happened. We can't just leave it where it ended. We have to upload both parts.
I don't care, man. You know, enough's all out there already. You know, there's pictures of my brothers getting cut. It doesn't matter. You know, I'm indifferent. I know where he's going.
Jeff's at the point of not caring.
Completely.
It'll be an injustice to the people who know her.
Exactly. I don't know.
Fucking thing.
Well, we'll see. I mean, I hope that we can upload it, and as long as I can get, you know, you're okay, and eventually his okay. Well,
The next video, Intermission, is an explanation from Vinny that something occurred on the way to Jesse's funeral that the guys don't know if they should upload. A decision has to be made. In the end, an agreement is reached and the video is uploaded under the title Consensus.
this is Vinny. I honestly don't know why I'm recording this. I guess this is sort of the way I grieve now. I just talk to you guys. Right now I'm coming up, picking up Jeff's brother Alex. We're going to Jesse's funeral. Hey Al, how are you?
Good, you wanna come in for a little
Yeah,
bit?
sure.
Can't really
It's alright. No.
Good? Oh, yeah. Well, it's not blurry at all.
I know. That's why I got it. I wanted to be able to take better pictures because people are like, oh, it's blurry. We don't believe you. This isn't happening to you.
Are you serious?
It's like cardboard cutouts, and we don't have time to deal with people who are, you know, giving us shit. You're the best cameraman. Best one.
I've been having these dreams lately. Well, they're not really dreams because everything it tells me happens.
Hold on. It? What do you mean it?
The
The
rake.
thing that attacked you, me, and Evan.
Are you kidding?
No,
How long has this been going on?
weeks.
And he talks to you.
Yeah, like he told me exactly what he did to Jesse, and
That's so disturbing.
like I could picture it perfectly.
Why didn't you tell us about this? Why didn't you tell me or your brother or even Evan?
Well, at first I kept playing it off like they were dreams. As things started happening that he was telling me, and it started getting really realistic. I thought it was just dreams from trauma or something.
No, I get you there. Did he say anything else? He's been coming for weeks.
Well, he told me about you guys.
Can I see that real quick?
Yeah.
The battery's dying. Let me.
I think we took the wrong turn.
Yeah.
I think we went the wrong way.
Not again. Not again. Oh shit. Okay. What the fuck is this?
Again, sorry I'm not doing a lot of talking, but there's not much to say when it's mostly just the video footage that we've already reacted to.
Alex. 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 What the fuck? What is that shit? Oh god.
Like the Morse code videos.
Alex is dead. He suffered the same fate as Stephanie's family, gutted by the Slender Man and left in a bleeding trash bag hung from a tree. He seems to have angered his attacker by divulging information given to him in dreams, information from the monster that killed Jesse and had been stalking him.
So that's what
A
happened.
relationship has become clear now. Slender Man and Habit work together in a kind of partnership, and the feral white monster works for Slender Man as evidenced by Jeff's story of what happened in the woods of Jimthorpe. The white monster is, as many have already guessed, another legend known as the Rake. All information pertaining to the Rake, the prophetic dreams, the claw marks, the mention of Linny, William, and Rose, comes from the original story of the Rake online. You may remember the name Rose in the story of Everyman Hybrid. She was Jesse's grandmother, who the police reported was killed by a vicious wild animal that hadn't been identified. The body found at the location where the Rake first appeared in Everyman Hybrid is quite possibly Linny, as the note she held was written by Linny and detailed going to find the Everyman Hybrid crew. This girl also appears to have been killed by a vicious wild animal. The blue bag from earlier that had a package with Linny's name on it also had instructions to find Everyman Hybrid. Inside was a letter to Linny from William, which indicates that this was Linny's bag. You might also remember Linny was the final adopted child of James Corenthal, who he left in the care of William and Rose. Corenthal's journal entry from 1990 detailing a dream about Linny's conversation with William is the connective tissue to the Everyman Hybrid crew. Remember, Linny was present in Corenthal's life when the children died from their mystery illness. When this is considered, the conversation between her and her new adoptive father, William, makes much more sense. I can't recall the whole conversation, but it was all very confusing. No, Lynn, you weren't blood related. Yes, you all seem to get along very well. I know. You're right, the resemblance is uncanny. It just doesn't feel right. If you're going to go, just be careful. I'll call you if I find anything that can give you a little bit of insight. I know how insane it must all sound. Linny left William and dear Rose to find someone. She was confused about her former siblings' life and demise. Someone who seemed to know about them as well. After the death of Evan, Jeff, Vinny, and Stephanie, Dr. Corenthal left Linny in the care of William and Rose because he no longer deemed himself capable of caring for her. At the time, he had mentioned that she had her own personal demon to contend with, and it was much more feral in nature than what had plagued the Fairmount Children's Home patients. When Linny grew up and asked William about her former siblings, he told the truth and she set out to find more information. Dr. Corenthal knows about this through a dream he had, which he wrote a journal entry for. The body of the girl found in the woods is most likely Linny according to what she had on her, the placement of the body, and the location of Linny's missing bag nearby with information from William. The girl had been killed by the Rake. William was already deceased, so he wasn't a target. So why was Jesse attacked? Rose had been living in Jimthorpe and was murdered there. Jessie was her granddaughter, and when the hybrid guys came to visit her, she was in Jimthorpe in a house way out in the woods. The Rake seems to have a major vendetta against Linny's entire family and was following the bloodline. The only issue with this whole situation appears when considering the time Corenthal had his dream. In 1981, his children had all died except for Linny, who he took east to be with William and Rose. Why these two? Because as Jessie had told us earlier, James Corenthal was her mother's half-brother, making him related to Rose. He gave Linny over in 1981, and in 1990 he had his dream about Linny taking off to find information about her former siblings. Like the problem of the iteration cycle with the Everyman Hybrid 4, the existence of Linny in the current lifetime can't be reconciled with Corenthal's reports of activity in the year 1990. The only explanation is that Linny is somehow trapped in the iteration cycle as well. It's the only current possibility for her existence in the current timeline, performing her actions from a past life all over again in a new time and place. If the Rake itself has an agenda for killing off Linny, Rose, and Jessie, it remains to be seen. However, its whispered prophecies to Alex seems to have damned him in the eyes of Slender Man, who is clearly more powerful than the Rake. We know this from the countless times that it's backed off of the crew due to Slenderman's interference. Whenever Alex told Vinny about what the rake said, it hurt Slenderman's plans more than it helped him, and he's...
Because the Slender Man has dibs on Vinny, Jeff, and... Oh shit, I just turned on my mouse pad. Oops. Because Slender Man has dibs on them. They're his
seems
property.
to have lashed out against the rake by killing Alex, who it had been targeting as prey. Alex's death seems to confirm what the guys theorized about earlier. You don't go around Evan, Jeff, Vinny, and Stephanie because that's poaching on Slenderman's territory.
There we go.
And that still isn't everything we can learn from what's happened here. Look at Vinny's appearance. He's wearing the same clothes but has completely lost all of his facial hair. It may be that Vinny's just gone through a whole new iteration. On March 20th, Vinny uploads a video marking the second anniversary of Everyman Hybrid as a channel, titled 24 Months. He starts by collecting some words from his peers.
Well, Steph, I guess, you know, I tell you every day that I freaking love you.
Why does my camera quality, like, look different than normal? I wonder if I managed to fix the settings or something.
For you. Tooth and nail. I'll be right next to you. You two are the only good thing that's come out of this. So, I'm gonna give it everything I got for you. And, as for the rest of you fuckers watching, thanks. That's it. Feels good. Thanks. Do me a favor? Yeah. Gotcha. You're queued up. Yeah, you look beautiful.
Well, I'm sure by now you guys can kind of figure out what we're doing here. It seems like half of our videos are either us teaching you how to work out and pretending that everything's okay, or they're us getting our asses beat or losing ones we love. And
Hold on. Vinny just said that about half their videos are on working out.
Yeah, I was
They
gonna
quit the
say.
whole workout and health tips routine a long time ago. At least, that's the impression we're supposed to have. Everything after the self-defense video has been about the paranormal investigation, and there are way more videos on that than there are health tips and tricks. Have they really kept going with the Everyman Hybrid channel idea and we just haven't seen any of the videos at all? It would make sense for what Habit's doing in his position as director and producer. If it didn't fit the narrative he wants to tell, it wouldn't make the public view. Still, to think that this might actually be happening is quite a major shock. Vinny might just be having a slip of the tongue here and they really did stop at episode 7, but to say that half of their videos are still on working out? Even for a joke, that's a bit too much of an exaggeration.
can't do that anymore because we haven't actually talked to you. And we've recently found out how fragile life really is. And we just wanted to thank you. And I really don't have anybody besides you guys. And of course, you guys out there. And I wanted to thank, first and foremost, you and Jeff, Evan. And really, secondly, everyone out there. You've been with us from the start. And you've been there to help us when we were down, when we were out, and we appreciate it. And we need you now, more than ever. That's it. Jeff, do you have anything?
Please just stop watching us.
Okay, we're done.
I actually prefer this music over Frank Sinatra. It's more sinister. Alright, I think we're gonna end it right here. Yeah, we're gonna end it right here because I don't want this to be a 3-hour long video. But I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'm sorry I didn't do a lot of talking. Like, it's just when there's, it's not that he's not explaining, because he is explaining. He's explaining very well. It's just that there's not much to really say when I'm just seeing the same clips that I that I previously reacted to when I was watching it. Oh my god. Oh my god. When I was previously reacting to Everyman Hybrid, and I've already seen these clips, so when I've seen these clips already, I feel like I'm sorry. I don't want to react to it because I'm just saying the same stuff over again, and it's like, it's not, I don't, like, I'm trying, but he's not saying too much. I mean, but full credit to Nightmind, because he is doing a great job at explaining this and helping me understand what is going on, because I feel like I'm getting a better grasp at the story now. And I hope you guys are too, especially if you guys haven't seen Everyman Hybrid explained. And if you are actually sticking around till the end of the video and watching this full reaction, thank you so much. I'm glad you've made it to the end and actually are watching, even if I'm not super entertaining the entire video. I appreciate it. But hope you guys all enjoyed and are learning stuff too. And I'm sorry that my voice just for some reason does not want to work today. It's like whenever I do these reactions, for some reason my voice just doesn't want to work, and it's like I'm losing it, and I hate it. I hate it so much, but eventually my voice will get used to talking a lot more. Eventually. I think it's because I don't talk a lot in my normal daily life. I think that's why. My voice just isn't used to being used. It's what happens when you're an introvert. Yeah. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed and have a great rest of your day, whatever time zone it is for you. I'll see you all in the next one. Like, comment, subscribe, you know the drill. Bye.